back. Our crappy culture. Today, as I'm sure each and every one of you knows, is Constitution Day. Did anybody know that but me? Yes, everybody. That's why I love to see this Constitution Day. Federal Judge Don Willett has a piece in the Wall Street Journal in which he recounts the famous story of Benjamin Franklin, who made the last great speech of his life, urging the signing of the Constitution with, as he said, all its flaws. And after he signed it, he came out and the crowd in Philadelphia shouted at him, "What have we got? Have we got a monarchy or a republic?" And Franklin said, "You've got a republic if you can keep it." And Judge Willett writes that the Constitution inaugurated a revolutionary design, Madisonian architecture infused with Newtonian genius, three separate co-equal branches locked in synchronous orbit by competing interests, ambition counteracting ambition. But the truly extraordinary element was that these three rival branches derived their power from three unrivaled words inscribed on the page in supersized script: "We the people." And he quotes Thomas Jefferson, "Wherever the people are well informed, they can be trusted with their own government." So let's see just how informed the people are. My friends at Campus Reform, we love these guys, went out, and now this is actually 2 years ago, I think. They went out and asked people whether the Constitution was being treated as if it were too important. If people were paying too much attention to the Constitution, here's what they said.
I feel like sometimes people use the Constitution as an excuse to not think and to not work towards progress.
I come from North Carolina, and there are a lot of people in that area who I think take the Constitution too serious.
The Constitution was written, it was kind of vague and using the language that we don't use anymore, and so a lot of people just don't understand what it means.
In a large part, I think the text of the Constitution itself and a lot of the amendments are probably taken a little bit too seriously.
That attitude has a lot to do with sort of like our, path-dependent reliance on the Constitution and the way we're sometimes afraid to think, in more utopian ways.
A lot of arguments end in someone saying, "Oh, well, this is what the Constitution says, so therefore this is what it is."
People tend to want to read the Constitution very strictly when in reality it's a living document. It changes with time. We have to keep updating. Like we would update anything after, the dictionary is updated like once a week.
I think the Founding Fathers definitely didn't intend for the Constitution to have, just direct interpretation. I don't believe in direct interpretation of the Constitution.
So we're in deep, deep trouble. I like the girl who said it prevents us from thinking utopian thoughts in a more utopian way. That's its purpose. That is the purpose of the Constitution. It was written by people who knew. It was written by people who understood what human beings are, how flawed they are, how sinful they are, how ambitious, how selfish they are, and it pitted us against one another to keep the government from taking away our freedoms, which is the natural thing that it does. Study more, learn more. Don't be a moron. Figure out why they wrote the Constitution. It can be changed. There's nothing wrong with changing it and updating it. But it is one of the greatest it is the greatest political document ever made. There's only one original, radical political thought. One. And that is that you should govern yourself. Everything else is Pharaoh. Everything else is Pharaoh. It may be Pharaoh for equality. It may be Pharaoh for, because we can run the economy better than you can. It may be Pharaoh because we're the experts and you're not. It's all Pharaoh except for the Constitution, except for the idea that you should govern yourself. It's a radical idea. We do not want to lose it. We should cling to it with everything we have got. All right, some of you may have noticed that Michael Knowles wasn't here today. I didn't, but some of you may have. That was because he had a little accident. I accidentally backed over him with my car 3 times. No. We were on the Blaze, and he's coming up. He'll have his show, and he will be back. We didn't fire him. Ben hasn't fired him yet. I'm the last guy to get the memo, so he hasn't fired him yet. Tomorrow we will be back. I'm Andrew Klavan. This is the Andrew Klavan Show. Be there. The Andrew Klavan Show is produced by Robert Sterling. Executive producer, Jeremy Boring. Senior producer, Jonathan Hay. Our supervising producer is Mathis Glover. Technical producer, Austin Stevens.
Edited by Alex Zingaro. Audio is mixed by Mike Cormina. Hair and makeup is by Jesua Alvera, and our animations are by Cynthia Angulo and Jacob Jackson. The Andrew Klavan Show is a Daily Wire Forward Publishing production, copyright Forward Publishing 2018.